Hey everybody, it's Toys of Arkham here. I'm back with another review, and this is a review of a Mezco Toys figure of the Alien Big Chap, and it is the 1/12th figure that they've released, so it's from the 1/12th line. I've often described Mezco Toys figures in their 1/12th range as, I suppose, mini Hot Toys, and this is by no means any exception to that description. So at the moment, a lot of people have been tuning into Alien Earth, which in Ireland here is being shown on Disney, the Disney Channel, and it is so far, from what I've seen, I've really enjoyed it. It's pretty unique, and yeah, overall I'm just entertained by the whole thing, and I'm tuning in for more. Looking forward to the next episode. I'm on episode 4 next, I think. So anyway, in front of us here is the Mezco 1/12th Alien Big Chap from the first Alien movie made in 1979, of course, the Ridley Scott classic. And for those of you who may tune into this particular channel, you'll know that I'm a big fan of the Alien franchise and Predator and Terminator and all that good 80s stuff. I have a Sideshow Collectibles Big Chap here. I have a couple of NECA figures, the 7-inch scale NECA figures. Of course, collect Hot Toys, Alien Hot Toys. I have the quarter scale NECA. But anyway, I used to have this Mezco one in my collection, and I got rid of it because I bought a couple of NECA figures that I thought at this size figure would tie me over. But I got the Mezco Art, the clown figure from Terrifier recently, and I sort of began to miss my other Mezco figure, which was this, and I think I might get one or two other Mezco figures down the line that are of interest to me, the Predator figure and the Crow figure, but I got an itch to buy this back, and then I was looking on eBay, and they're going for kind of crazy prices at the moment, and I'd say a lot of that is to do with just the interest in Alien Earth at the moment. But I was on Amazon, and there's this option that came up on the I suppose purchase options when it shows you the price and seller, various sellers that have these on the Amazon website. But anyway, they had this on the Amazon warehouse stock list, which basically means that if someone is for whatever reason unhappy with the product, and it's usually because the packaging has been damaged in the post, they send it back, and Amazon then are left with a product in excellent condition, albeit in a damaged box. And what did they do? Only they sell it for a reduced price. So long story short, this was on sale for €75, which would equate, I suppose, to around £55. Now, given that this is for sale on eBay for about £140, £150, I just jumped on it. I thought, well, isn't that a bargain? So long as there's nothing wrong with the figure or nothing's missing. So this was the box it came in, and it's okay, it's a bit battered, a bit tatty at the edges, and Amazon didn't really give a good description as to why it was in their warehouse kind of product list, or sort of why it was a good bit reduced from that price. But anyway, it's fairly obvious the reason why is because it had been bashed in the post, and I don't really care about that, so long as I said the product and the figure is perfect, which it is. Everything is here. I had this figure before, as I said, so I knew what it came with, and there was nothing in the packaging left empty where something should have been in it. So as we usually do in my reviews, we'll have a look at the various little accessories that this comes with. And this one here is a real highlight for me. So that obviously is the face hugger, and it's in a position that if you have another 1/12th scale figure, you can just wrap it around the neck and place it over the face of your 1/12 figure. Now there's no other alien character figures out there, but you can pop it on something else and it will look really cool. I'm not sure if it might fit on some 7-inch figures as well. And that's the face hugger there, as it would be as it's running along or crawling up walls. And yeah, great detail on it, really good detail. This one is, it's sort of bendable, but it's not one that has a wire in it, so I'd be careful if you're trying to manipulate that too much. So that's pretty grotesque, but it's got great detail on it. This, of course, being the chest burster. And it has that sort of a wet blood effect on it. And this is a piece that you can replace the chest plate on the Xenomorph with this. To be honest, I don't know why they went to the bother of doing an entire chest piece. They could have just had something there, a hole in that you can just put that into. But anyway, sure, look, for those of you who are purists, I'm sure you're happy to see that. The hands are excellent. So the figure is sort of a black or dark grey green, unique sort of combination of colours, and that continues on in the hands as well. They have that wet look to them. And then we all know that when the alien Xenomorph Big Chap opens his mouth, there is an inner mouth that comes out, and these are attachments that you can put into the mouth of the figure, and they are various lengths. So that's the smallest, and you've got a longer one with the mouth open, and then lastly we have this one, which actually has that green slime effect coming out as well. I have to say that could have been done a little bit better. It looks a bit too clunky, but maybe depending on the distance you're taking your photographs from, it may look a little bit better. Obviously we're in a close-up range here, so it's not that detailed from this range. It's acceptable though. Then you've got the alien eggs. This one's closed completely. It's got a bit of weight to it. It almost feels like it is a solid piece of plastic, as in it's not hollow. And it's got great detail, and the paintwork is excellent, the mold is excellent, and it also has that sort of a wet look to it as well. Very cool. And then we've got this one, which is the open egg, which of course the face hugger comes out of, and when you look inside of it, it has again that wet gloss, and it has what would appear to be like a fluid in the middle that fills the egg up. There's sort of like veins around the corner as well, so excellent detail. And of course you can place this around your figure. It has a sort of a diorama effect. But let's go on to the Xenomorph himself, from the feet up. So the Xenomorph sort of has two main looks in the movie. There's a sort of a very slender, sort of a prop look, and then there's a man in a suit sort of look. That sounds like a very poor description, but again, those of you who are into the movie and into the special effects aspects of this creature and the story behind it, which of course is the design of H.R. Giger, there was in certain scenes a man in a suit, and it looks that way in some of the shots, where in other shots it looks more slender and less human-like, if you want to put it that way. So we just have him in a straight up and down pose. So the feet are really excellent detail. Again, that sort of green, brown, grey, black merging of colours. And this material here is sort of a silicone rubber, and it's an entire seamless suit that goes up through a figure that when you lift it, you would probably come to the conclusion that there's some sort of a metal endoskeleton underneath this. Now, I haven't any evidence of that in the sense of I haven't seen how it was made, or I haven't seen anyone chop it up and look inside, but certainly from the weight of it and from the feel of it, it would appear to me that this is something that might be made of metal underneath. This sort of material, sometimes you would see it in terms of seamless bodies on a Fison figure, and it's usually like a medical grade silicone. I'm not quite sure what they're using here. Some people are a little bit concerned about these sort of materials over time deteriorating, and that can be caused by the climate perhaps that you're keeping your figure in. So if there are extremes, either extreme cold or extremely warm, that can affect material, or if it's in direct sunlight. But this is all fairly obvious, and it would apply to most materials if you keep it in that sort of atmosphere or environment. I live in Ireland, and this is going to be kept in a glass case or up on a shelf in a very neutral temperature room. I don't expect to encounter any issues with this. I have other figures I've been collecting for many years, and other figures with these sorts of materials, and I haven't had a problem, so I don't expect it with this guy. And like, at the end of the day, guys, you're paying maybe 100, maybe 140, or if you're me, 75. They're not the biggest investments. So if you're thinking of about what it might look like in 10 years and you're afraid to buy it now, like, you're still getting 10 years of use out of it before it does fall apart, and by then something new and better will be out that you'll want. So, like, you know, don't get too caught up in all of that if I were you. But everyone has their beliefs and opinions, so that's absolutely fine too. Yeah, so as I said, you know, the other thing as well is if you don't keep it in a crazy pose where you're bending arms and elbows and knees in an extreme way, that would put strain and pressure under the material. So if you just don't do that, well, then you should be fine. So not all of it is that silicone rubber. So that is the arms, the legs, the body, but this chest piece isn't. And as I said earlier, there's a replaceable chest piece, and that's made of sort of a harder plastic. And up here, these sort of pipes, they're made of a harder plastic. The back with these pipes, that's also made of a harder plastic. And at the back here, you have the rubber again, and then the tail is all rubber, and that has a wire that runs through it that you can pose in all different directions. But you can see that there's sort of a more of a gloss off the plastic as opposed to the suit. The suit does have a sort of a tacky, sticky texture to it, but that's just the nature of rubber generally. So proportion wise, to me, it looks excellent. I just love this figure. I missed it. It was one of those that once I got rid of it, I was like, oh, wish I hadn't done that. And now I'm really happy to have him back in the collection. The dome, again, if you're into these xenomorphs, and especially the Big Chap was known to have that more translucent, clear dome, and you can't really see it too much throughout the film. And then the behind the scenes picture seems to have a very kind of contrasting dome depending on which scene you're looking at. So some look very fogged up to the point where it just looks black, and then others are very translucent where you can really see into it. And this particular interpretation of the Big Chap leans more towards the translucent dome, where you can really see into that almost human looking skull through the face of the dome. And then at the back there's sort of like this again extended skeleton that's goes all the way back, and again that's all translucent, see-through, and just looks really amazing, especially under this light. It's a stunning design and a beautiful what did they call it? The perfect organism. And that mouth opens and closes. Doesn't close completely shut. When you open it, as I said earlier, you can put in those inner jaw effects and make it a bit more menacing looking. Not that it isn't menacing looking anyway. So it comes with a stand, and this stand is fairly basic. It has attracted a bit of criticism because of the font used. That's the Aliens font rather than the Alien font. So that's a bit of a mistake there by Mezco, and it has that stand grabber that you can attach on and put onto the figure himself. I love this. I actually think I prefer this to the NECA figure, because although the NECA figure would tower over this in terms of stature, and it is a beautiful figure, the NECA figure, I think I've reviewed it, but this one here just has that extra bit of, I don't know, it's just got the materials that really would, if this was a real shrunk down suit that a man would wear, this is what it would look like. It wouldn't look like the NECA figure. It would look more like this, because it would be made of rubber, and it would be like this is a rubber suit on this figure that wraps around a little metal endoskeleton. So this is what it would be more accurately looking like. And you know, we can get this into beautiful poses, which I'll do for you just right now. Give me a minute. So here you see the big chap leaning in over the egg, and a face hugger crawling away. Really is a stunning figure. And for those wondering what that inner jaw would look like, there's the one with the sort of slime and goo, or if you want to go more accurate, I suppose it's an acid sort of fluid, but it could be a little bit better. It does come up a little short on the detail compared to everything else. And lastly, because I'm a little bit tight on time, guys, I will keep it to this one here, which is the smaller inner mouth coming out. And there's the two eggs and a face hugger, and I think I've gotten the light as good as I can to show you all the detail on this, but really a stunning figure. And you know, this design, this alien is just so iconic. It's just a character that is synonymous with sci-fi special effects, and it's just peak movie icon. And I don't know what else to say. It's the perfect organism, and H.R. Giger just took so much pride in this particular design. And when any figure company attempts to replicate it, they really have such a task on their hands. And Mezco, to be fair, did a fantastic job. And when I compare it to the large sideshow collectibles, the statue, the maquette here, it does a great job, super job, maybe even slightly better in some places in replicating the big chap xenomorph. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed that review, and if you want, please comment and perhaps like the video, and if you want to see some more reviews from me, just subscribe, and I'll chat to you all soon. Take care. Bye bye.